Q makes it sound, Q makes it sound, Q makes it sound good. Hello, it's your boy Demigod Q, here with a track from my friend DJ Infante. I'm only going to be playing the percussion because that is the theme of today's lesson. When he sent me this track, I realized that the pitch of the percussion might not be 100% on. You're going to hear here when I play this C minor chord against the percussion as it originally was. And it sounds just a little unsettling maybe. When you combine that with the bass and the kick, you get some very intense rubs. So what you're going to hear now is what I did after the fact. It does sound a little different, but once you start introducing those C minor chords and everything, you're going to hear that it makes a lot more sense and kind of allows the track to breathe. When you start incorporating those melodic elements, you'll hear a track that definitely speaks more. I'm going to play now just to kind of really bring it home, the scale itself against the beat. You can hear that all the tones are working. Some of the melodic elements that were presented did not fit exactly into the chord, but I felt like still worked in the scale. Alright, so how did I do this? Now, besides obviously moving the transposition knob on the wave things, it is important to, at least when I'm breaking down a track like this from someone else, I'll always start with the kick. The kick's the foundation for everything, and if you've got some chord experience, like chord theory, or even just the ability to hear partials, it can get much easier once you've worked out the kick. Now, how do I hear it? There are plugins that can detect the pitch in percussion. You can use spectral analyzer, whatever the case may be. I'm either smarter or stupider than everyone else because I just use a piano like this one here and my ear. I find it's the most reliable. I trust it more than anything else. Sometimes the beater and the sub are not quite the same, and you kind of have to make judgment on that. So we've got our original kick here. Sometimes the lower kicks, it can be kind of hard to figure out that sub. So what I'll do in that instance, I'll raise it up an octave. And then I'll start comparing it to the piano to kind of figure out where I think that note is. I think this one I figured was a G. So you got your fifth up from C. Once you figured that out, bring it down to kind of verify what you're working with. When you're setting the kick, you generally don't want to leave it somewhere higher. You want it to be the foundation, so lower. So what I'll do is I'll do something below the original, if anything. So you'll see here I did -7. That's pretty much it. Just kind of worked my way down the entire track doing that. You'll see as I gloss through it that I worked down some of the hi-hats, the snares. I think there's one in here that's called like percussion C sharp, so of course that one's gonna have to go down a half step. So if you take nothing else from this, just know that if you're working on a track and you just can't get that snare to fit right, or the hi-hat just feels weird, check out the pitch. And that's Q makes it sound, Q makes it sound, Q makes it sound good.